So here we are, our first broadcast, and you can see that the channel was started today and has 0 followers and 0 news. So let's start with the news. I guess the first topic everyone talks about is Donald Trump, the Donald. What to say about Donald Trump? I guess the first thing to say is, let's hope he doesn't actually make it all the way. I can't imagine the result if Donald Trump actually had the power to implement his ideas, whatever they may be. On the other hand, I'm a huge fan of his. I think business as usual in Washington has brought us to where we are today. The old are raping the young. Unwillingly, unwittingly, unknowingly, who knows? What difference does it make, really? The fact is that one of the founding fathers, I think Jefferson, said that it was immoral for one generation to indebt the next, and it certainly seems as if we've done just that at the federal level. Promises that have been made to people who are retired are being paid for by people who are not retired. Fewer and fewer of whom have jobs that pay any kind of income worth mentioning. And an unsustainable situation eventually ends, no matter how rooted in popular culture it is. And the fact is, there just isn't the money to support all the people that the federal government is supporting. There are those who say, well, I paid into the system and it's my money and I'm just getting it back. And if I had invested in the stock market, I would have had a lot more. Well, that may be true, but the fact of the matter is that what you thought you were saving was actually just a tax. And I believe that Social Security is paid at the government's whim. So far, so good, but they can change that anytime they wish. Many examples of retroactive changes of the law, retroactive to previous agreements, that is. So, the Donald, I think he's going to continue to do well. He's polling twice the rate of the front-runner, Jeb, and I just saw that Rick Santorum is now polling at 0. So, that's hardly news, but it certainly is an amusing anecdote. So the Donald shakes things up. The Donald, I think, is going to cause the Republican Party to implode, because how does the Republican Party not nominate its top vote getter within the Republicans, that is? And the argument we made that Jeb has a better chance against Hillary, and that certainly may be true, but the fact is that Jeb is only half as popular as the Donald. And the Donald has already survived some pretty serious missteps. I mean, there are those who, I think a sizable percentage of the population, do think that anybody who's ever worn a military uniform is a hero. It may or may not be, but it's certainly embedded in popular culture now that they have that honorarium. So it was a bold step for the Donald to step out on his own. I didn't see anybody else seconding his thoughts. Then on the pro side, his aggressive reaction to aggression against him in the form of Megyn Kelly certainly won a lot of supporters. Whether you agree or disagree with the substance of what happened, Donald perhaps inferring that she was menstruating, perhaps inferring that she had a bleeding nose, who's to say? But the fact that he was willing to strike back so immediately, wasn't flustered, seemed like a hit job, really, by Fox News. I'm no fan of Fox News, even though I'm very conservative on lots of issues. But the fact is that he gave as good as he got, and he's polling at a quarter. 25% right now against Jeb's 13. It seems that the Donald is going to be with us for a while. Those are my thoughts on the Donald, and I'll add more on later topics as we go. Take care.